Well, Pepsico, here we are at the Archangel Michael's live. So, how are you, Pepsico? We see if people come. Okay, go. Hello, Saga Review. How are you going? Waiting for the candle to get more light. So, I hope you are well. It has been quite a few good days. I went on the live with Gordon and on Nick's channel, and we resolved some things. Just waking up. 10 a.m. in Canada. Yes. Okay, I understand. Like my sister, she probably be sleeping. I hope she is sleeping in. She deserves to. She works very hard. She doesn't like weekends. Well, I suppose you'll be wanting to have a coffee and some breakfast. Just waking up. Yes, I was like that this morning. We had our federal election. I am well, yes, I am well. Yes, we had our federal election. And of course, the Labour Party, they won. They was the early party that was in power. So they retained their power for another 4 years. Bit of a landslide, really. They didn't need any minor parties to create the government. They can form government on their own. Majority vote. You just went through something similar in your country, I believe. Well, what do we have here? Well, as long as we don't have any trolls in the chat, we'll be doing fine. Well, what have I got in here? What have I got in the Book of Wolverine? We have to check it. It's pretty deep. Hello, Golden Queen. How are you going? I hope you are well. We are just about to get into the Lord's Prayer, so I have to check how deep it is. It's pretty deep. Oh, yes, it's very deep, the Lord's Prayer. It means a lot of things. Doing good? Oh, yes, I'm doing good. We had our election, we had our vote. The party that was in power retained its power, and that's about it. Would have made a difference, really. But then again, well, we'll get into this Lord's Prayer, eh? Well. Okay. Are you ready? You don't have to put your hands together or close your eyes. You can if you want to. But we're about to begin. Okay, here we go. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but to deliver us from evil. Hail Mary, full of grace. Amen. Well, now God is in charge of the chat. We can sit back and relax. I have a little bit of content, a bit of revised, some stuff I found laying around I haven't gone through yet, so some new stuff. Yes, amen. But before we get into the content, we'll go over the 7 keys that we need to turn. And humanity is going to find it hard to turn these keys. Well, we've already turned one. We put God in charge first. You put God in charge, that's the first key. The second key is love one another. We're trying, but we have to do better. The third key is never hate. This is one of the hardest keys to turn. But if you want the keys to heaven to turn, you have to turn that key eventually. Give generously. By giving generously, you light your way. Your way will be lit. And the more you give, the more you light your way to heaven. Life, well, live it simple. Don't make it difficult. You don't have a difficult life like mine. I give you the tip. Make it simple, make it easy. Otherwise you find yourself stressed out and suffering all kinds of mental conditions. Number 6, forgive quickly. Well, I'm sure that we've done that. We've forgiven a few things quickly, and that was good. But that is very hard to do, to forgive very quickly. But you have to. That turn the other cheek, you know. You have to learn to forgive even for the most heinous things. Sometimes, even if you've been a good person, you have to turn that key, or they may not turn the key for heaven for you when it is your time. It's not necessarily that you turn it now, but you will eventually have to turn these keys. And the 7th key, well, pray every day. We've done that. And that one goes into the first key, so we've done 2 keys. Put God in charge, and we prayed every day. That's 2 keys already turned. That's how easy it is. Although never hate and forgive quickly are 2 of the hardest. Now we'll say my favorite saying. I like this saying. A strong woman knows she has the strength enough for the journey. But a woman of strength will know that the journey will only make her stronger. There's also a woman of wisdom as well. People see God every day in front of them, but they fail to recognize Him. Some people take the credit. Fair enough, they worked hard. But who gave you that ability to work hard? Who gave you the oxygen to breathe? To begin with, every breath you take is a breath God takes. God's plan is better than anyone's dreams. We all have fantastic dreams. We all have this notion that we're told heaven is going to be like your dreams. Not necessarily. That would be a pretty chaotic heaven. No, God has a plan, and it's far better than anyone's dreams. And when you get up there, you realize, hello, Kiki Eyes, how are you going? I will do the Lord's Prayer a bit later in the chat. We'll go through some content, but I'll do it again for you. Twice doesn't hurt. A bit of a double dose for the day. Well, let's get into the content. Oh, Black Death. Yes. I will read some of this. I have to do the disclaimer first. But I will read some of this eventually. And then you'll understand when I read about the politicians and the politics and the way their thinking was at the time, how similar it is to today's times. Is that similar? It's scary. Well, what have I got here? Ooh, some stuff. Okay, here we go. Sadness can be a silent scream that echoes within the suffocating of us, and it suffocates us with its intensity. This is what sadness is. Like you feel like screaming out, but you don't. And you suffocate yourself within, and that's why it becomes so intense, the sadness. Maybe sometimes you might want to get out in the bush and just yell. Sometimes it's good. People might think you're crazy, but the releasing of tension, not keeping it in. Otherwise, you'll suffocate yourself and it'll become intense. So sadness can be silent, a silent scream that echoes within. Remember that. Of all the sad words of mice and men, the saddest are, it might have been. There you go. A man, when he gets old enough and looks back on his life, or a woman, when they get old enough and look back on their life, well, they always think what could have been. And that's the saddest words. So, if you ever get the opportunity to do something, take it. It might never come around again. We must understand that sadness is an ocean, and sometimes we are drowning, while other days we are strong enough to swim. Remember that. You feel like you're sad, you feel like you don't have any friends, and you're all alone. There are places and people you can talk to. Plenty of places on the phone. They've even got those AI chatbots as your friend now. That's something interesting, but very sad too, in another sense. The world is becoming more separate while we are on these devices. I have noticed myself, since the introduction of these devices into society, I have watched the change, and it is very sad and a very lonely future. Get out in the world, people. Some people who come into your life just to teach you how to be alone. Like some people come into your life and you think, oh wow, and all of a sudden you're still alone. Did that teach you anything? It's a strange one, but some people do. Some people come into your life, promise you everything, and give you nothing, and you're left alone. And then you learn your lesson, what the loneliness is all about. You have to ask yourself sometimes, if this keeps happening to you, is the problem with other people, or is the problem with yourself? Because the same denomination in each relationship is you. Remember that, especially like at school. I try to teach my daughter this. She says every year I go to the school, another teacher, they treat me badly. I said, well, what's the common factor? Are they different teachers or are they the same teacher? She said, no, they're different teachers. I said, well, what's the common factor? And she says, me? So she does understand that half the problem can be yourself. Sometimes you might need to change. We live in a world which teaches us we can be what we want to be without caring about what anyone else thinks that you are, even if you might not look exactly like you're trying to be. That's the world we live in. But there needs to also be reality. You cannot live in a world of dreams and beliefs and wonderings. There must be some sort of reality, you know, some sort of things that the children can actually grab onto. You think how confusing it is now to be a child coming up in the world. I grew up in the 80s. I was born in the 70s. I grew up in the 80s. Way different than it is now. Now the kids have to learn all kinds of things. It's terrible. We have to get it right, people, because we're not quite getting it right. Oh, this is a sad one. This is one you can probably drop on a partner that you might want to get back. It's a little bit cheeky, but it could work. He said, there's one pain I feel, which you will never know, and it's caused by the absence of you. It may work, it may make them think. It depends on what you're going through. But that is true. Well, what else have I got here? I've got all kinds of stuff written here on this bit of paper. No, we won't be reading that, and we won't be reading that. They won't understand that yet. They're not ready for that yet. Not just yet. Sorry, I'll work it out in a second. Now, this may seem a bit out of context when it comes to the sexes, but apparently I got this as a Japanese legend. So this may be the way that they think over there. You can take a broken guy and heal him, and he will love you forever, which is kind of true. Most broken guys, if they get healed by someone, they'll love that person forever and do whatever they can to keep that person in their life. That's just the way it goes. But you can take a broken girl and heal her, and she will leave you broken. So that's the way the Japanese must believe. I know this can happen, but it's not a normal thing to happen. It's not the intention of anyone to do that. That's just something I found quite interesting. I don't quite agree with it. But like I said, different people from around the world have different beliefs. And if this is a Japanese legend, how do we know it's still not indoctrinated into their schooling beliefs now? Look at the way the system is set up with the young girls. I think it's quite taught, this one over there. You have to look at things in society. A lot of stuff's hidden. And in a way, that doesn't sound right to me. But to the Japanese, they may agree to that because that's the way they've been taught. I'm sure it's a little bit different over there now. I have two nephews over there. One's a DJ and one's with his boyfriend. And that's the way that is. I accept them. But the father doesn't. My uncle doesn't. But that's just his problem. Well, I have a poem here. Yes, I write poems. I'm pretty good at writing them. But I'm upset about the way, well, most of the younger generation, and some of us older now, are going, thinking that we live in some sort of a matrix, and it's all a game. There's only one person or two people playing the game. We're just pieces. So we're not playing the game, we're part of it. Let's get that for starters. But I'm upset at the way it is thinking. People think they can't be hurt. Well, let's have a look at this. Because this is the way we teach our children. This is the way people talk to me. This is the way a lot of people carry on. I'm upset by those that think life is a game. Let's explore their inferior brain. For in a game, they can easily respawn. But in reality, one life and you're gone. For in a game, they have all the cheat codes. But in reality, you have to carry heavy loads. For in their game world, their mind is set. Damn people, we don't download oxygen yet. For in their game, they have points. They have a points need. Come on people, we can't download a feed. For in their game, they play Neo or Morpheus. But in reality, there's no Matrix to catch the bus. For in their game, their mind is a Monopoly show. But in reality, in real life, once dead, no 200 pass go. But that's the way we live. That's the way we think. We think like we're living in some sort of video game. You can go out there and do whatever you want and you're just going to respawn again. I'm sorry. That's not how life works at all. And the more we put ourselves into this mind thinking, the more we put our younger ones in this mind thinking, the more it'll become just like one of those war games. And then we really will be a warlike people. And we really will be saying out to the universe once we start to become a starfaring race, watch out, universe, the human race is coming. So we've got to start getting it right down here before we decide that we want to go out there. We'll be just like that Avatar movie, and we'll just rape and pillage everything that we come across and claim it as our right, which is not. We have to look after this planet first before we go stealing anyone else's. I'm sorry, but it is true. Humans have been given the ability from God to have your own destiny. And your destiny, if it does continue, will go out into the stars. We will travel the universe. We'll expand the human race far beyond Earth. Eventually this will come. But we need to get it right. We need to be peaceful. And on this journey, we must always take God with us. The moment we turn our back on God, humanity, even if we go through these great tribulations, even if we go through the revelations, we turn our back on God any time throughout the histories, throughout the future histories that are to come, the human race will fall. It is that simple. We keep faith with God. When we start going out there amongst the stars, we'll be good people. And what we come across, we will help. And we will learn from. And hopefully, they can learn from us. But humanity is a warlike race. Our whole history is riddled with it. Right from the very beginning, very first time, the very first man decided to have the very first cave, there was other men that wanted that cave, and if they could not get it, how did they go about it? Should they stay out in the cold while he sits in the warm? That's how men think. That's how humanity thinks. It's not so much men. I just use them because that's what we've been taught. That teaching needs to turn around too. It needs to be humanity. You need to deal with people as what I just said. Your people. What's your identity? That's your name. That's how we identify you. Get this sexuality out of the head as an identification factor. That's the wrong way of thinking. That means we become sexualized beings. That means we're teaching the children to be sexualized beings. That means we desensitize everything. And then the pedophiles come in and take our children by law. Is this what you want? Is this how they work? They're very devious. They'll do this right under your nose and you think it's a good policy until you read it and see what they're actually doing. It's coming, people. We've got 16 years to get ourselves all armed up and ready to go. Because after 16 years, they will bring this new world order onto us. We have to do something about it. It's already started to begin. That's just it. It's already started to begin. What you deem as good in the world, is it really good? Or is it just a show? I see everything, unlike as us on here. You have to struggle to put the message out. Everything you see in mainstream media, everything you see that's a huge platform, everything that seems to be popular, they're only there because the ones that are in charge allow them to be there, regardless of who they are. The ones in charge are all bad. None of them are good. Don't ever think you're voting in a good person. No. You do proper research on them. You put the fly on them. See what they do every second. I guarantee you, you'll find out that I am right. They're all corrupt. All systems need to be changed. They all need to be taken down. No one in the industry can be trusted as long as that industry exists at all. That industry needs to be extinguished and a new one needs to be made. Then you can trust anyone that sings or acts or is on TV. Then you can do that. Until then, they're all part of the industry. The industry has not been broken. It's been exposed a tiny little bit, a fraction, a hair of how evil it really is, how deep it is. To them, it's business as usual. Even the so good celebrities, they wouldn't be there. I mean, you have to look at the ones that really are telling the truth. The ones that really are trying to do something. Where are they? How are they trying to struggle? Are they in mainstream? Are they on the news? Are they the number one hit? Because if you think they are, you'll be sadly wrong. You would have been hooked into the fanfare. And I can't trust any of them. I'm sorry, but I cannot. Not a single one. Not a single one. Especially those that think they are the new Jeebus. That you don't do. People think it's bad I'm trying to be the Archangel Michael. I've got receipts. I can prove that I am. That's the difference. But you do not go making out that you're the Messiah of anything. That's his job. No one else's. Anyone else's that comes out, that's a false prophet, false Messiah, and a false preacher. It says in that book, the only part that has anything to do with us at all is that Revelations. The rest of it you can chuck away. Seriously, It has nothing to do with us. The rest of it you can chuck away. The relations is all we have to worry about. And in that it says, do not trust preachers. Do not trust prophets or fake messiahs. I told you, I don't care whether you want to believe or not. I'll get my message out. I will do what I have to do. I will stand by Jaguar as I have promised until my mission there is done. And when it is done, I will move on to my next one. And hopefully, by helping these people, I will be able to expose to the world my mission and bring some real reality to the situation. Because the moment I show you that bit of footage, once I get it, it'll wake the world completely up. In fact, the footage has been out there. It's about 5 years ago, 5, 6 years ago, maybe 7. It was on Facebook of a big, large white lizard running through the bush, runs into a big steel grate that pops up out of the ground, but it knocks it over. They took that down, of course. Then there was the other footage of one of the men that had been killed by it. That was on YouTube. That was on Facebook as well. See, my late partner, she used to love Facebook. That was her platform. She loved that stuff. I've never had Facebook in my life. And she showed me these things. And she said, that's what you're chasing, isn't it? And I said, yes. And she wouldn't let me go. She was terrified of that. But yes, there was footage on Facebook that existed. But it was taken straight down because, of course, the government are trying to hide that one. But it did exist out there. And that's a fact. And that's a fact. Well, going through this here content, but not bit of revise, don't really want to talk about that. But I will talk about what I did. Was that, let me just say this, Michael. I was attracted to Jaguar Defense in the same you felt the need to say something. I love God send us towards each other. Yes. I'll go through and read. Sorry. Yes, Japanese culture is very fascinating. Well, it's not so much Jaguar herself, it's her message, and it's the evidence that exists with Jaguar with me. And the fact that when I started on watching Wolfgang, watching Odell, he was the first one to make me a moderator. So I just, well, I know it's that Archangel Michael name. People pick that one up. That's very powerful. I know how powerful it is. Very powerful indeed. Right? And I don't say it in vain. And that name, a lot of people in the world, regardless of what you may believe, are looking for a bit of hope. And I know this, so I know I've got a great thing to live up to. This is a fact. But I also know the power of my name. I know it very well. Like that Candace Owens, I was talking to her 8 months ago. Same with Tucker Carlson. Same with Russell Brands. They all wanted to know what I was talking about, but I found them funny. They wanted to take me off, like to cull you from the flock, and take you over to that WhatsApp. Strange, I noticed. All 3 of them had the same number. So whatever company they're using to scam money out of you is the same one. So I found them to be nothing more than scams. Platforms, scams nonetheless. You go into there, you put your answer into the chat, and you see what they send you. They'll send you something from WhatsApp. Go to WhatsApp. Go onto this one. Go, we tell him we sent you for this investment, and they'll try to hit you up for money. That's all they're interested in, money. How do you think Tucker Carlson got to talk to that president of Russia? Money. Not because he liked him, because of money. Who is the strongest dollar in the world at the moment? The Russian dollar, the ruble. Think that one. It's all about money, people. Who controls the power of the dollar? It's all about money. In fact, I don't know whether people have watched it. It's not quite a movie a lot of people would watch if they like taste. But that movie, The Wolf of Wall Street, well, when they had the big turn down, it's all about money. One family shut their business down and they lost half the stock market. That family was the Rothschilds family. So it's all about money. When Britain wants a loan for something, because they can't quite fit the bill straight away, they don't go to the King of England. They go to Mr. Rothschild, and he signs them a check. Here you go, here's $2 billion. Send it over there. That should float your little euro. This is a family that can buy 15 million Elon Musks. Elon Musk is the front rich man. Simple as that. Look at what he rattles out. People actually listen to what he said that he's actually got. He's got the device there that can go faster than the speed of light, and they've tested it. It's already been done. They're into the stages now where they're testing it, a full-size one with people in it. One that can travel to farther than where we have that satellite, the Pioneer satellite. Okay? In 9 minutes. Takes about 15 minutes for the light to get there and back. So they're traveling faster than light. That's already a given. One of the footages that you see, the military chasing UFOs, where they're chasing a big triangle one, and they're in the plane behind it. That's Mr. Musk testing that ship out of Brazil. He come out and really said it. I don't know why people are not all over this. This is a device that they have out there that can go faster than the speed of light. Okay? The human race is getting ready to go to the stars. So before we go there, we have to get ready here. He's #1 man in America because I keep telling you, those drones you seen flying around earlier on? Elon Musk is also one of the leaders in robotics and the Android. Your jobs, America, are going to be gone. I'm sorry, but that's what's going to happen. Our country down here, they'll go the other way around. They're lazy. They don't like spending money. They'll just reduce us to slaves. And the Australian voter is nothing more than a big fat cow. The government just farts us around, does completely things wrong. Anyone else will be locked up for years and they get away with it. What does the Australian people do? Moo! And we vote them in again. That's what the voter is. Nothing more than a milk cow. See how much milk they can get out of you. I thought about if America had compulsory voting. Well, let's put it this way. We are under a Westminster system type of democracy. Okay? So we have a prime minister. So Australia, they said, if we wanted to go and have a president, we would change it like this. The people would vote if you wanted to vote. Because I don't think voting's any worth part of it. They rather just the rich pick who's going to be in charge and leave you poor and like me have no say at all. Okay? That's how America works. That's why you're not forced to vote. Because if you were forced to vote, they would actually have to put someone in that was voted. But you're not. Right? You elect vote. You elect vote a person in your region. That person in your region then goes and sits down and they all have a vote who is going to be the president. You don't vote for no president. We vote directly for which one we want to be in. Okay? There's still preference votes in that. But in America, you're a dead vote. All those voters out there is dead votes. At the end of the day, it's the people that have been elected as the senators who vote the president in America. So, you can have 140 million votes, but they're all wastes of paper. Because at the end of the day, it's all those people that you voted in. It's up to their decision who wants to be in charge. Some might say, "Oh, we barrack him right to the podium," and when he gets to the podium, say, "No, we back the other guy now." That's how it can be. That's America. It means the rich and only those senators, only the rich and the senators get to choose a true president of America. America got no say, and they want to bring that sort of system here. I waked up straight away to that. That's why all the politicians over in America, voting, why do we even have that as not even part of the process? Which makes the people feel like they're part of something that they're not. They want that here in Australia. They want that here in Australia. Australia is all about keeping you under the thumb, keeping the government closed, keeping you like a slave, taking every cent from you, to give you no opportunities, and give them all to people from overseas. Send all your good money when your country is starving. People in the streets, drug problems, abuse. But we'll send billions of dollars over to keep a war going. We'd rather spend money on wars than securing our own shores. It's a fact. I believe what Trump did was good. He stepped straight in. No, we're not giving you any more money. You want more money, you have to give us a cut of your minerals. We want some of that. We want some money back. We can't just keep give on lend lease and expect that it's going to be paid back. No, we want some coming back now. So the money is now being reversed. Money is now leaving Ukraine. None is coming in. I wonder why that is. Because like I said, that Zelensky, he sold half the weapons the world sent. He sold them. Brought his wife $120 million worth of dresses. Simple as that. It's not allegedly. I bet you find out it's true. I'm not scared of any of them about this allegedly bullshit. That's allegedly. Allegedly what? Put them in my court, there'll be no allegedly. You'll find out the truth. Be quite surprised what a hot iron can do. Very surprised. Yes, like the Inquisition, but far worse. Because you'll be dealing with the Archangel Michael, and I work directly for God. You might think I'm just a person, but I'm more so an angel. It's pretty hard. I have to be good. I'm starting to learn that. When I was with that golden and what we did, and on next channel, which is fabulous. We need to do more of this. We are going to explore that. That's something worth exploring. The more smaller platforms come together, we make a big platform, and we might have a voice. We might be able to control some of the algorithm and bring some of them over to us with a good message. It's all about sharing, being polite, understanding, and trying to change your view. Go in with an open mind, not with a closed one. I believe all three of us went in with an open mind. And at the end of the day, three people not really knowing each other, talking about something that we really shouldn't have been talking about. And that's why I think it was easy for us to get around that little aspect. Because none of us know each other enough to hate each other enough to be even saying things like that. We even to have anything animosity towards each other at all. So what we did was very good. Very good. I know YouTube liked it, even though people might not be watching it as much as we want them to watch next channel and that one. I know they liked it. They were expecting something completely different. Well, I could go over this content and revise it, but I really don't feel like it at all. Big bad boy, hello. Big bad boy 22, how are you going? Welcome to the Archangel Michael's chat. Well, we'll do one more revision for Kiki Eyes. We will do the Lord's Prayer again, because you weren't here when we did it earlier. So we'll do it again for you. Okay, here we go, here we go. The good thing about it is I haven't had any trolls lately, so that's good. I don't know, I remember that one of my first lives coming in and saying Jesus was a moron. How ridiculous. Like I said, Jesus was a genius. People want to know what that 40 days was about. Well, coming to terms of the great mission that he had to do. He also had to work out how he was going to get around his father's laws and his father's algorithm. And he worked out a way. And he opened up heaven for the rest of humanity. So I say, he's a genius. He saved all us. Opened up that door. But to go the full way, we need to open up the temple doors up here and let Jesus in and God in and also into the heart. Let the mother, the father, and the son as a family. They replaced that word, the Holy Ghost, the Holy Spirit, because they want to defame women. Okay? The true way is the Father, the Son, and the Mother. So the Mother is the Holy Spirit. Remember that. It's not all part of the same, but it can be claimed as that. Because that's God's right. He can claim whatever he wants. That's a fact. Okay, we will do the Lord's Prayer. Okay, here we go again. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but to deliver us from evil. Hail Mary, full of grace. Amen. And now we've got God in charge of the chat again, so we can double relax now. We sit back in the back seat, like a limousine now. Got the guard at the front and God driving. Thanks God, thanks God. And away we go. I wish it was like that, but it's not. It could be, but it's quite not. I truly wish it could be like that. I truly wish I could sprout my wings and go for a fly and rescue people. That would be good. But that's what people are expecting. And what you've been told is not what God, the message God's really sent. Those statues of angels and that around, they're images. Tells you in that book not to praise images. We won't be coming like that. Simply that the way that Satan has got into things and made manipulations to make people put those up, thinking it's something good, which it could be to those people, and I'm not doubting that. But the fact of the matter is, it's an image. And that's what got humanity. He's got humanity believing this is how we are going to come. It's not God that's done that. That's the church and Satan. He did that. He installed that. He installed that imagery. In that book, the last ones come down, raised down. What happened to them? Got burnt up, deformed in the way that they are now, grew and twisted. There's got to be ways of doing things. God works in the most mysterious ways possible. He works in so mysterious ways, people don't give him credit at all for what he's done. But if he's done it right, you won't even think he's done anything at all. But he still asks for you to say thank you. Because he knows he's the one that done. He knows he's the one that did it. That's just it. We don't give him enough credit. What is out there for what we get. It's like on Auntie Lee's channel, watching about that poor little baby and that lady, how she would rather go and get the cigarette than ring up the police and tell them about a missing baby. Just subbed as well now. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I will have to do a video for that. If that's the case, that makes you, 1,290. Nearly getting to the special 2,000 video. That will be good. I'll have to make a very long one for that one. But thank you very much. Yes, slowly. I would like it to grow a bit quicker. That way the voice can get out a bit more. But slowly by slowly. Step by step. Bit by bit. Of course, people are not going to believe that this is the real guy. I don't blame them at all. I don't blame them at all, one bit. But the fact of the matter is, I'm the only one that's coming. And that might be a bit sad. It might be a bit harsh. But it's the facts. It's the way God has to do things. The way that the rules are set. Even God is bound by rules. If he doesn't, people think he can just change the game when they know. If it was that easy, evil would be gone out of the world. We wouldn't be talking like we would all be free. It'd be a lot better world. There'd be no wars. Food would be readily available. Water and shelter and warmth and love. But it's not. Okay? If God could just come down and do these things, he would have already done them. Without a doubt. He loves the human race. He gave us the ability more than any other being in the universe. more than he made us in his image. Okay? He favored us. He will always favor us. But there's rules to this game. Even God is bound by these rules. He's bound by the rules of life. That's the one real main rule he has to keep to be called a God. If there's no life around, who can call him God? If there's nothing around. So it's in his best interest to keep life flowing. His son wants to manipulate that, destroy all life. So when he does recreate it again, he recreates it in his image, not God's. If he was ever to ascend to become in charge, like he was supposed to, then he would have to follow the same rules as God and keep life flowing. But he doesn't want to do that. He wants to pervert it in his own little way. But everyone can be changed. And as strange as you're going to believe or not believe this, strange as this might be hard to hear, in the end, God does not want to destroy his son. God wants his son to turn the other cheek and redeem himself, as hard as that may seem for Satan to do. But no father wants their son to fall, no matter how bad they are. Okay? He was the firstborn. He was supposed to ascend to the throne. He is the only one that has ascended up and talked to God. Okay? The only one. You will find that out. Go through all your books. You'll find that out. That's the only one that's ever stepped right up to the top step and had to talk to him. Not before I cut his tongue, so he couldn't talk back. That's what happened there. That's the only reason why he had his tongue cut. And when it healed, he wasn't able to tell a lie. But he's very crafty, very cunning. He can fashion that truth and make it a lie. But it's a truth nonetheless, see? So he kept with that rule. Very cunning. Jesus worked the way around his father's algorithm to get the rest of people into heaven. Don't you think Satan is trying to work a way around his father's algorithm to get himself back into heaven, where he can wreak havoc and kill as many as he could get a hold of? So that war in heaven was like nothing you can possibly imagine. A lot of people, a lot of angels died. Okay? It wasn't just a bit of an argument and got kicked out and the rest raised. No, there was a battle. The gates of heaven were smashed and they were breaking through. They killed many. Many angels died. A third of the angels out of the 144,000 that were built, they went down with him. And there was 200 main ones, 200 strong ones, 200 leaders, 200 real bad ones, 200 real powerful ones. That's the 200 that you talk about. But a quarter of heaven, so a quarter of 144,000 come down. They slayed most of the rest. There was only 7 of us that stood at that gate. In the end, there's only 7 of us that stand. The rest of them were slain. I'm sorry, but they were. It was a terrible battle. Heaven was under siege. It was about to fall. Many were killed. All those that were left with him. And only 7 of us still stand. So that's it. Now you know the truth. There is no heaven army. There's only 7. That's it. Okay? That's what happened in the last war. that's just it. Whether people like to accept that one or not. There were seven of us that stood. I myself am the protector. I will protect the whole of heaven, and I'll protect God until it's my time to go. Raphael, he was the healer and the compassion that kept us strong and kept us alive. Gabriel was the messenger, and it was his powerful voice that stopped a lot of the angels from trying to turn against us. But it was a bit of a mistake. They were slain. So Gabriel's got a bit of a thing going on. Uriel, the light of God. We watched his sister Ariel burn. She was a light bender, but they burnt her nonetheless. Zadkiel, the angel of mercy. It was his hand that laid on my shoulder that gave me the mercy that I did not slay Lucifer, and I only cut his tongue. Jophiel, the beauty of God. He stood there to remind us what we were fighting for, the beauty and the glory of God. And Samuel, he sees God. You understand? This is it. This is the only seven that stand. The rest of the angels, they joined him, but were slain. You will find this in the book of Revelations, in chapter 15, verse 6 and 7. And the seven angels came out of the temple, having the seven plagues. You can find out the rest yourself, but you understand now what us seven have been given, the power that we have to fight this battle, this tremendous battle against odds immeasurably superior to our own. We've all been given judgment devices. If we don't like it, we might have to do it. It's what we have to do. Pretty hard. It's very hard. Like I said, there's seven of us. But I tell you of my sister Aniel. She sits on the fence, that one. She's neither bad nor good. She was voted the most beautiful angel in all of heaven, in all of the universe. So we'll see. She is afraid in this form that she is now. She's afraid of what she is. But she is one of the most powerful weapons that we have. If she joined us, there'd be 8 of us that never get into heaven then. Yes, people think, look at me, and I say, oh, no, I'm actually afraid that we might not be able to stand and complete this mission. There is a chance that God can lose this battle. It is up to man to play his hand right, and that's what he is putting the trust in man. He's put his trust in us. We have to get it right. If he wanted to, he could. But he'd ruin all these laws that he had. And he'd bind himself. Okay? Plus he's too powerful. He can't directly touch the earth. Look at the last time he did this. He flooded it. He's just too powerful. He's just too powerful. That's why only Satan can go up and talk to him. He's the only one that can handle the radiance of the light of God. Otherwise it would burn you away. Even myself, I probably get to about the 5 steps away from him. I can't go any closer. Or I'll burn alive in his radiance. No matter how hot or how strong I was built. I probably could go up there. I probably could handle that. He built me strong enough for it. But he hasn't asked me to, and I have no need to. I have no need to rise higher than my Father. That is not my ambition. My ambition is to stand below. Make sure no one does that. And look after him. Like I said, if all the heaven, all the earth, all humanity decide to turn against God, who will protect him? I will. That's my job. Whether I have to do bad things or good things, if God wants me to do it to protect him, to protect the sanctity of life, I have to do it. That's just it. I just have to do it. I will talk about Judas. He had to do things too. And people all throughout history have made him the bad guy. No, he is not the bad guy. Not the bad guy at all. You've got to look at the bigger context, the bigger picture. The ones that made him the bad guy was the ones that murdered him. The apostles that murdered him were the ones that wrote him as the bad guy. You understand? St. Peter felt himself not worthy of God, because when Jesus asked him at the Sea of Galilee before he rose up to heaven, he asked him, "Where's Judas?" Now St. Peter wasn't directly involved, but he knew what the other apostles had done to Judas. Because once they had found out Judas had ousted Jesus, they hunted him down, tied his hands behind his back, and they hung him as a traitor. And all throughout history, Judas has been known as the traitor. But do you watch the stories? Have you seen the movies? Doesn't Jesus go up to Judas and say, "Judas, you're going to do this. Whether you like it or not, you have to do it." See? A lot of things happen behind the scenes that is not written in the book, that you do not see in a movie. Judas was Jesus' go-to man. He was the one that will go out and forage and get supplies. One that go ahead and arrange place for them to live. I don't want to know how you were doing this, Judas, but we need it done. You understand that one? If Jesus walked up to them people and said, "I'm Jesus," they'd have arrested him, and it would have been as good as suicide. And he would have never been able to ascend to heaven because he would have sinned. And Judas was essential to the process. Okay? Judas had to oust Jesus, so that way in the eyes of God, it is not a sin. Suicide is a sin. He would have never been able to ascend, and none of us would be going to heaven. He would have stuffed up. So he needed Judas as part of that. And that money that he was getting, that money he was getting paid for, that was to go to Jesus' wife, Mary Magdalene. That was his insurance policy, to make sure that she was going to be all right when he has to die. You understand? That was his retirement package he was setting up for his wife. And Judas was supposed to go and give this money. And because of all the things that Judas had done, And he knew that Judas liked Mary Magdalene. He said, well, you could be the one to look after my wife. And she could become your wife. And that will be money that you got to live. But I have to do this great thing. Can you do this for me, Judas? He didn't really want to. He knew it'd be the bad guy. They're not going to believe me. Why don't you tell them? He said, no, Judas, it's got to be you. I've been getting you to do things that none of these other ones know about, Judas. You're my go-to man. You know you are. When I found you, you was a thief. You understand? So I used your abilities, your skills to help us, Judas. And I'm going to need you one last time. Can you do this for me? He was reluctant. They had him as very reluctant. He was reluctant in his heart. He didn't want to see his friend be crucified. They were friends. He wasn't just a follower. He wasn't just a leader. They were friends. So he didn't really want to out his friend. So that's why you get it 3 times where he denies, no, yeah, no, yeah. Huh? Another one denying him. No, that's not him. And Judas ousted him. Judas was told to do such a thing. Jesus knew that he had to be sacrificed in front of his own Father to be able to make us ascend to heaven. And I keep telling people, if Jesus ousted himself, it would have been suicide. So Judas was absolutely essential to the process. People wonder why St. Peter, or Simon, as his name was, thinks he wasn't worthy of God. Well, he wasn't. At the end, he could have controlled the rest of them. So leave Judas alone. There must be a reason Jesus gets him to do these things. But in rage, he just let them go. And that way he became unworthy of God. And then again, that's part of how the Romans got a hold of him and they executed him in such a fashion. He didn't ask to be killed like that. They killed him like that. Because the last bloke they pinned up the right way, he ascended. And all this lightning happened. So they thought it was one of his main disciples. We better not kill him the same way. So they tried to kill him the other way around. Get your history right. Don't believe what's in that book. Believe what's in your head. You know? Oh, I wish you greatness too. I wish you very much greatness. Saga Reveal, thank you very much. I have a good view on things. It's not exactly what people have in mind, what the view is. But my view is right. I can tell you right now. It's very hard to try and get the message out sometimes. I get a bit confused what I have to say. No? My voice. That's another person that says my voice like this. They like my voice like this with the accent. Strange enough, when I walk around, I seem to be doing the accent involuntarily, without even realizing I'm doing it. Oh, he's going to bed. It's made the door darker. Well, I'm just about ready to go to bed myself. Sunday morning, and yeah, sleep in, hopefully. The kids would let me sleep in. They like sleeping in. Yes. That's right. Good evening. I go through. Yes, got another person that joined. Well, thank you for coming into my chat. Thank you for showing up. We done the Lord's Prayer. We got the main content over with. I've had a little bit of a talk about things, about my view, and about the true view. Trying to open up people's eyes to a bigger aspect. I know I seem like everything is doom and gloom. Well, it kind of really is. If it's all exposed out, you'll find out a lot of these governments and that we have in charge, they're very bad. The world could be better. Let's admit this. The world could be way better than what it is. Yes, have a blessed day. This is what we must do. What we did with myself and Gordon and our next channel, we could do more like that, bring more solution and peace to the problems and stop the problems. There won't be any problems. If enough of us do this and join together and promote each other and just advertise and back each other up, just support each other even with likes and a few messages. If enough of us do this, we'll take YouTube back. They'll have no option but to follow the rules. Simple as that. One stick can break, but many sticks together make something very strong. Remember that. We're only little content creators, little baby ones, little tiny little ants. But if enough of us get together, we'll bite the shit out of someone. But it's all about the good message. There's 3 channels. There's actually quite a few channels. Jaguar's got an excellent message, and I will protect that message. That message is one on its own, and it's going very good now. They've got God. They pulled God in. She's pulled God into the chat, which is excellent, right? They've got doctors coming in with education. They're reading books. They're trying to say, look, we can't have the young ones in. We have to have the older ones because it's not for your brain at the moment. You need to develop a bit. So they're even thinking about the hygiene of the mind, let alone the body. They have a good thing going over there. I will protect that. Those ladies have got it set up well. I will let them function that, and I will protect that. That's a good message. Trying to get this all operational, I believe, before she has to go to those trials. I feel very sorry for her. She would be scared. Like I said, she's going to be near people she doesn't want to be near. And they may have access to her. And of course, now that you see, without Odell around, she doesn't have that little bit extra security. But he's still around. Just they're not together as a partnership. So they've got a partnership but not a relationship. Not quite sure how they're going with that. I just leave them go. I hope they actually get back together. They were well together. But we see, that's their decision, not mine. I will support them both. I have no problem supporting them both. I gave them my promise. Yes, it's time for me to go. I can't keep rattling on, keeping you here. And it's time to go. So, this is the Archangel Michael signing off live. And I will catch you next time. I'll probably catch you a bit on one of the other people's lives. Jaguar or something if they go live or something like that. I'm not going to go to bed straight away. Okay. Thank you for coming. And God bless everybody. We'll catch you next time. Thank you, guys.